Hi everyone. Great evening to you. It's another Sunday and I'm so excited to be here. So we're having a very special edition of the Connect this Sunday evening, and as you very well know, as I said, online through our various, social media platforms. It's the beginning of a new series. First of all, welcome to the month of November. I'm so excited to have you here with me, and it's gonna be an amazing evening. Let me start by apologizing for coming 30 minutes behind schedule. We just needed to come right, needed to come perfect. All right. So we had to deal with every single issue that we had before doing this. So this is the first time that we're actually shooting the connect from an outdoor location, and it feels good. It's amazing. I like it. I love it. I love the energy and all of that. And what's more than that, I love the energy of the guys that I'm having in the studio with me. Yes, so you heard it from me. I'm not going to be alone today. Much as you don't like to share me with people, well, it's all right. It's okay. So I've got amazing folks, and they're going to be joining me in a bit. Just do me a favor right now. Pick up your device, begin to share this video to everybody on your contact list. Let them know that this is the Connect, and it's going to be amazing. So first off, I'm going to start bringing in my guests into the studio. Remember, the series that we have is the trouble with being gifted. The trouble with being gifted. Okay, so they're making noise, right? Because they don't know that the microphones are sensitive, and you could probably hear them. All right, so I'm going to be bringing in the guest. First on my list is my great. First of all, before I bring in the guest, please tell me. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can see me. Let me know that everything is going on pretty good. Send me messages. I've got a couple of messages here, so we need to keep this chat room buzzing. Okay, okay, Viti says, oh, yo, shoot. Okay, Viti, you are absolutely right. I'm reaching you from the city of. Hey, can you guys be a little bit quiet?
No,
You are, we're live. Can you imagine this, guys? All right.
we want to be
So,
all
all right, all right. So I got noisy folks here, and they can't wait to jump in. So yes, we're reaching you live from the city of Uyo. It's amazing to be here. All right, this is where the connect started from, right here in this city, and I'm back home shooting to the world, Uyo to the world. So it's the trouble with being gifted, and I've got different perspective on this. Earlier on today, I sent out a message to a couple of people to share their thoughts with me, and I'll be reading out what they sent to me. In the course of the broadcast, it was simply amazing. But let me bring my guest in right now. First off, is great brother of mine, great friend of mine, somebody that has he's just wahala for me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we usually do, the one and only, the phenomenal William. William, can you just get in here already, man? Okay, he's trying to make an entrance. All right, so guys, we're here, we're watching. All right, William, get it.
why do we have
Okay.
to go through all this last time?
All right, so
Hey, people,
William Anwana is here in the house, and we're having an amazing.
with a bottle of Ever water, it's fine.
Ever is not paying for this time, bro. All right, so it's okay. It's
Go
all
ahead,
right.
go ahead.
It's all right. So William is here. I'm gonna bring in someone else into the studio right now. William, just here. All right. So
I'm chilling.
second
I'm
up
chilling.
is great guy. You know him now. He's a maestro. He's got the gift of gab. He has opened several sessions on the Connect before, especially on the public speaking series. Great friend of mine. Great. I can't even call him son. This is a son that is teaching the father how to be a father. He's an amazing guy. All right. Let's welcome William David, King William David. William, can you guys just get in here already, man? I need to get this going on.
You have to make an entrance.
See, you were just corrupting everybody here. All right,
It's
that's
called
it.
influence.
Holding a bottle of Eva water.
How you doing, bro?
You guys, you can't be talking about branded stuff on live TV. What's wrong with all of you?
Oh, sorry. We're drinking.
Oh, okay.
It's branded stuff, man.
We're drinking.
That's why.
spring.
That's why usually we use
Water
cups
from the
on
rock.
show. That's why we use cups on the show. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got one guy, and he's like the
Perfect.
he's. Could you put your bottle down, please? I'm trying to talk here.
That's the beauty of being live.
All right, guys. So I don't know what to do with this, guys. All right. No, what do you mean this will be a lot of fun to watch? This is not gonna be. First of all, let me even put up comments so that we can be reading your comments. Okay, Mr. says you should absolutely right. Irene,
You look better with the hoodie.
Irene says can see, can hear perfectly well. I hear you. Um, Fun says this will be a fun watch. I won't think so, actually. I mean, this guy's just, but it's
Fun
okay. It's all right.
watch.
It's
Fun.
all right. Okay, so one more guy that I'm going to bring in before we start the conversation. Great guy, super guy. Usen James.
Sounds like Superman.
Usen. So, yeah, yeah, he's Superman. So,
It does look like Superman.
well, you start doing this too? Just come in already.
Make an entrance.
Just make an entrance, man. All right, so that's Usen James, and he's joining us. All right, guys.
Kick him out.
Off with his head.
What is going on here? Like, I really need to think about this
We're
before I
just high
do
on
this kind
water,
of stuff
that's all.
again. All right, okay, so guys,
This way on the screen.
yeah. You're looking. Yes, we discussed this while we were.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that's the camera right there.
Voice to man. I don't know why it's. I don't know
Okay,
why I
guys.
said that, really.
So we're starting a new series today, like I said, and it's called "The Trouble with Being Gifted." Now this was born out of something I wrote many years ago. It was about 7 years ago on my blog, and it's really one of my most demanded speeches. People ask me to talk about this
So
a lot.
you
So I
have
thought,
demanded speakers? I'm sorry. Please.
it's all right. We'll get through this. I mean, if I can do this, you can do this too.
Yeah.
So this is motivational thing. All right. So we're talking about the trouble with being gifted, and I here's the thing. I've got really gifted guys in the house with me today. Really, really, absolutely gifted guys in the house with me. So I'm going to start with William Anwana, and he's going to be sharing his thoughts on his initial thoughts on the trouble with being gifted. So William, take it up. I'll
Oh.
be back.
Where are you going?
Bye.
You want some water?
I'm done. Bye.
You've left us to fend for ourselves.
Okay. The trouble with being gifted. When I heard the topic, right, it really threw sparks in my head. I was thinking about it, the trouble with being gifted. And I think the very first thing that we need to do is we need to strip that down, right? What does it mean to be gifted in the first place? What does giftedness mean? Because I think it means different things to different people. You talk to five people. So I think it's always best to have a working definition, right? So that everybody's basically on the same page. So for me, being gifted or a gift really is really a seed, right? And when you think of it that way, why do you think it is a seed? Because everybody on this earth, every human being has the potential of being great at something, has the potential to be called great, a great woman, a great man, a great person at this, right? Now, what is the thing that makes you great? What is the thing that if you develop and if you refine, takes you to that hallmark of being great? It is the seed. It is the seed. It is the seed that is the gift, right? Once you explore that gift, once you develop that gift, once you maximize that gift, that is the key to your greatness. So I would define the gift as the seed that if you produce, if you refine, if you take time to develop, ultimately leads you to your greatness. But what the issue is that so many people don't believe that they have the seed in the first place, right? Because they're looking at the world and they're thinking that, oh, this person is so exceptionally gifted at this, or this guy can do this, or this woman can do that, and they're just like gods, right? Forgetting that everybody else also has the gift, right? So there's that discrepancy. You think somebody is exceptionally gifted, you have forgotten that you have your own gift. So the very first thing to bear in mind is that each and every one of us has a gift of value that has the potential to change, to transform, and to cause a difference in the world. I'll stop there, guys.
Amazing. So everybody has something
mic.
that is inside them. I mean, that's really
Drops,
awesome
drops
stuff.
bottle of water.
Drop. Oh God. So he's got that gift deposited inside of him, and I have to go through and live with this, guys. Just pray for me whilst you're at it. Pray for me whilst you're at it.
Your
Okay.
siblings still.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna hear. Let's have David speak to this.
Okay, so I'm going to say something. We had a drive-through. We're supposed to make this a drive-through. Hey, you want to take it?
No, it's a,
Oh, okay, cool. We had a drive-through session, and we were talking in the car. And then when we stopped, we talked about something. The problem with being gifted, and I talked about something, and I said we all have gifts, and at the end of the day, we going back to the most simple definition, we did not get to consciously unwrap any of them. And a gift is a responsibility. That is something I've known for as long as for as long as time itself, to be honest. Because growing up, you'd hear, oh, do well in school, you get a bicycle. And a bicycle is a responsibility. You have to wash it, ensure that you oil the spokes and all of that. So a gift is a responsibility, right? And so everybody has a gift, but we do not all get the chance to consciously unwrap it. But the point is, whether you consciously did or not, it is out there. And your responsibility with the gift we're given as human beings, since it is a divine gift, take that into account. It is a divine gift. You have to impact a lot more people than yourself. So it's not as easy as saying, "Oh, it's a bicycle. It's just for you," and maybe your siblings could ride as well. No, you have the gift of speaking. You have to be able to lend your voice and be able to impact the community around you, the society around you. And so I'll go back to what I said. Having gifts is a responsibility. And a lot of us had the unfair responsibility of not consciously unwrapping it. So, whether you chose to unwrap your gift or not, what you have, there's a responsibility for you to use it to impact the world around you.
Absolutely.
And that being said, I think that's the biggest trouble being gifted. Discovering it, knowing that you already unwrapped it, like I said, it's unconscious most of the time, knowing that it is out there, knowing that it was already unwrapped for you, and then knowing how to implement it, adding value to it, and then making sure that you make an impact, not just on yourself, but everyone around you. That is my 2 cents.
Amazing, amazing, amazing
I mean,
stuff.
those
Amazing stuff. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right? So,
it's fun.
so you got that. What's going on here? So you got
An
that.
alliance. We're taking over your show. We're the Taliban.
No, you don't get to say that on live TV. No.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
You,
sorry.
you don't say that.
Sorry. We're the goodie band. Hey.
Yo,
Wow.
who said?
Uh, okay.
Want some
The
water?
Connect. No, 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 not at all. Perfectly fine. Um, all has been said. Like a whole lot has been said, and I've heard. It's literally like I have nothing very much to add. Um, I'd first like to explore the idea of what a gift is. The mere fact that it is a gift actually means that it is free, so you don't have to work for it. So, coming to our human interactions, I would say that a gift is an innate ability that you have to do something, an innate ability that you naturally possess to do something. So what's that thing that you do so effortlessly? What's that thing that just occurs naturally to you? That is your gift. And talking about the trouble with being gifted, I might like to relate this from a very personal perspective. That the trouble with being gifted stems from very many angles. You get to face the trouble that comes from your environment, from associations, and all you could list there. Coming from environment, you can be gifted in an environment that does not appreciate your gift, and you end up being totally confused because it takes someone to identify what you carry. If you can't identify it, if you can't identify it yourself, it takes someone to identify, and that brings your environment into the equation. So if you are in an environment that does not appreciate or identify with what you carry as a gift, that is a problem. You might end up being abused. You might end up not discovering what you carry. I think that would be all for
Okay,
now.
so I like the way you put it, right? And everybody has spoken to. Everybody did some justice to laying down what a gift is, and breaking down what a gift is. But here's the thing: you spoke about what the trouble with being gifted. He spoke about that's David spoke about that. William didn't actually get to what the trouble with being gifted is, but so
Yet.
he's gonna get to it in a bit. But let me start the opening, right? Let me open up on the trouble with being gifted. I like the fact that you said that your gift not being appreciated, not being recognized in an environment where it is, and so you experience some level of frustration
Yes.
trying to work on your gift. How about this? How about instead of the world not recognizing what your gift is, you not recognizing your gifts? Because I think one of the troubles, and it's true,
Yeah.
not that's not negating anything that you say.
Unwrapping
Yeah,
the gift.
Yeah, unwrapping the gifts. I think that's what David said. You need to get
Yeah, we're
in
back.
here.
We're back.
All right, you need to yeah. Wait, that it's by belly size. So like,
Ooh,
Then
all right.
be
Ooh,
somewhere
shit.
behind.
Ooh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah. No, it's okay. So
William, you
no, no,
you're
hold on. No,
sucking
no,
it
no,
in.
no, no,
I'm
no, no.
holding it up.
No, no,
Breathe,
no.
breathe.
Just
sucking his
hold
belly
on.
in.
I'm not
So,
sucking.
so,
I'm just holding
let's camera is this way. All right,
Okay,
we're good.
okay.
Okay, so now the first right, one of the troubles, right, and I need us to unpack this is not knowing that you carry gifts because I've come to realize that look. For example, the Bible says that God will never give you more than you can bear. And many times we think that's in times of trouble, but that's also in times of blessings. He will never bless you more than you have a capacity to. And your gift is what determines your capacity. It's what determines the areas in which you can play. It determines the kind of solutions that you can deliver to your world. Now, if you don't know what your gift is, chances is that you will go to a gunfight with a water pistol.
True.
Because life doesn't fight you at the level of your knowledge, life fights you at the level of your potential. All right. So when life brings you all that it brings, it looks at your potentials. And if you're meant to be great and super great, it comes with super great challenges. But here you are functioning at the level of not knowing that you're super great and you think you're just mediocre on the get along lane and you think that's just fine. So I think one of the first issue with being gifted is not even recognizing how gifted you are. So you're playing small where you're meant to be playing big. But because life doesn't deal with what you know or what you don't know. Life deals with what you should be and what you're called to be. So the arsenals of life come at you like serious mega, and then you find yourself overwhelmed with issues. What do you think about that, David?
So the truth is, like I said, for as long as we've known that we were supposed to do anything, right?
Mm.
Our greatest trouble has been the imposter syndrome, right? And you come and you say, oh, well, they say I'm supposed to be this. Am I good enough? They say, and I'm using the word they say because half the time I remember using that mistake and I said it, and someone says, they say. We're so conscious, and it stems from a very young age when your parents tell you, oh no, you're supposed to do this. The internet isn't working well, and then you turn off the Wi-Fi and then you turn it back on, and they tell you, oh, you're supposed to be the next Mark Zuckerberg, just because of how well you were able to get the internet working. And so you live your life in the constant shadow of, number one, you not discovering what you're supposed to do, you having, and the truth is, more often than not, what you're supposed to do, your gift actually comes from, number one, the stuff that you enjoy doing, the stuff that gives you the most joy, and then the stuff that you're great doing, the ones that you do better than almost anybody else, or you can do just as well as anybody else on the planet. And so this is it now. When we're talking about that particular phase of your life, you now have to discover, one, am I doing what everyone expects of me, or am I doing what I feel like I'm happy? And so the entire problem now stems from the first thing, like he says, discovery. And some people are blessed with discovering it earlier, and there's still a problem for a lot of people that discover it earlier. And then some people discover it late in life. I mean, there are pros and cons for both scenarios. But the problem is, the first step has to be discovery, and discovery is the hardest part because you will live your entire life with the imposter syndrome if you're not taking the risk of saying, I'm just going to do what I feel like doing, what makes me happy, what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing, not what I do. I'm not doing what everyone expects of me, and then whatever happens, happens. Because at the end of the day, a gift is a risk. Forgetting the fact that, like we talked about it, you have to unwrap. So when you don't know what you're opening, how do you know if it's good or not? So at the end of the day, you have to be able to know how to take that risk and say, hey, I don't know what's in this box, but I'm going to open it regardless because I'm excited. I'm optimistic. And that's the first step.
Right, right. Okay, so let's have William share some thoughts as well.
Yeah, I'm the one wearing blue. Okay, absolutely, absolutely phenomenal perspectives from everybody who has spoken so far, excluding AU because I don't know what he's saying.
Ouch.
You just
One
do that,
love,
like,
one love. You know how we do. You know how we do. Anyway, so I absolutely love
Siblings.
what David said, right, about discovery, which was just jumping off from what we heard initially. Discovery is really the starting point, but I would like to reframe that, right, so that we're looking at it through the lens of the proper perspective. Now, why do we have a gift in the first place? What is the reason for having a gift? And if you look at it from that viewpoint, it throws a different color on the question, right? Because you have to realize that everything in creation, everything in the universe, uh, is given birth to for a purpose.
Right.
There's a purpose for everything. There's a purpose why you're doing the things that you're doing. There's a purpose for the mosquito. There's a purpose for the fly. There's a purpose for the hair in your nose, right? Now, what what your purpose
There's
is?
a purpose for your phone,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah. Purpose for my phone.
The signal blocker.
As I was saying before the interruption. Now, when you start with that viewpoint, right, start with why. What is my purpose?
Yeah.
Your purpose is your assignment, what you're supposed to do.
Mhm.
Now, for you to do that assignment, you need to have the potentiality to fulfill it. That potential is tied to your gift, right? If you're meant to be a great teacher, for instance, it means that you're going to have the gift of teaching, the gift of expounding knowledge, the gift of shedding value to people, either through the written word or the spoken word, right? Whatever your purpose is, whatever your assignment is tied to your gift. That's the very first thing. And now, jumping off from that, I think part of the trouble with being gifted is that we haven't truly embraced our authenticity. Now, I alluded to something in my opening statement. I said that a lot of us tend to be intimidated by the giftings of other people. So, for instance, maybe you like sports or you like playing tennis, and then you look at a Roger Federer, and you're like, man, how does he swing the thing like that? I will never be as good as he. Right? You're forgetting that this man is functioning in his gift. You might like sports, but that might not be your thing. That might not be your true gift or your true authority, right? So if you're looking at Roger and you're saying Roger is exceptionally gifted, I will never be as good as Roger, therefore I just have to stay at the sidelines. You are discounting yourself. Now, I heard a really interesting quote, which is I think was stated by Albert Einstein. It said, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its life believing that it is stupid. If you think that because Roger is doing this and you're not as good as Roger, right, you are discounting yourself and your life. The very 1st thing
I'll never judge you again.
you shouldn't, because I'm the greatest.
On live.
On live,
Yeah,
on
yeah,
live. You know how we do. What was I saying?
You have to have a lot of confidence to do that.
You need to have a lot of confidence. I love this guy. You need to have a lot of confidence
In not being judged.
in, in what you do. The very first thing you need to understand, right, is that um, if I'm doing, if he can do what I can do, and I can do what he can do,
What makes
then
us
one of
unique?
us is irrelevant. One of us is irrelevant because that's the point. Life is diverse. The beauty of life is diversity. If he can do what I can do and I can do what he can do, then one of us is irrelevant. One of us is not doing the right thing.
Right.
One of us is not living authentically, right? So when you understand that, knowing that I need to walk in my own lane, embrace my own authenticity. That seems like a cliche, right? But that is really the truth. You need to understand who you are, why you're here, what you need to do, what your potential is, and what your destiny is, because each and every one of us has a significant lane to follow, which is different from any other person. And your gift is tied to all of that. Find your gift, find your authenticity. Listen,
And the truth about it now comes from this.
I need to do the moonwalk.
No, don't moonwalk out.
Okay.
We're not doing that
It's,
yet.
right. Okay.
So, but the truth is, like he said, at the end of the day, if there's a quote like I heard, if everybody is thinking the same thing, then one person isn't thinking. Because at the end of the day, we cannot all be the same.
Yep.
We were not all made to be the same. I mean, there are over 7 billion people on the planet, and we all have unique fingerprints, unique DNAs.
Yep.
If those things can be unique, think about it. Why wouldn't anything else be unique? I mean, they may be similar. The point is, at the end of the day, like he said, the purpose is different. But the gifts may actually be similar, but at the end of the day, ensure that you are not modeling your gifts around somebody else who's similar to yours. Model your gifts around the purpose that you have. Develop your gifts around the purpose that you have. Like that's what he keeps saying. And then I'm now going to now refer back to something I was talking about earlier. When we talk about the trouble with being gifted, I grew up as one of these boys who thought he could do everything, and for a while I could, great in school, 9 yards, and so naturally expected that I wanted to be the Nigerian Fresh Prince, the Nigerian Will Smith. But at the end of the day, in the dance crew I was in secondary school, I realized that everybody had a different role. No matter how choreographed a dance is, everybody has a different role to ensuring that that dance is unique. Eventually, why do you feel like there is freestyles in dance, even in choreographies? Because everybody has their strengths. There is a stuntman, there is a frontman, and then the frontman may not even be the best dancer, but at the end of the day, he's probably the one who can front the band just as well.
Yep.
understanding that we may all have similar giftings, we may all be great dancers, but at the end of the day, for us to be able to shine, for us to be able to achieve our purpose, we now have to, at the end of the day, come back to our unique purpose and now say, fine, I'm going to model my gifts according to what I'm supposed to do. And I think
Absolutely.
I think that's the most instrumental thing I learned from him now, because we're all learning on the job. That's the
Absolutely.
most phenomenal thing I've learned from him now. And
The video of being
the
live.
best part of it, yes, on life. I mean, well, this is the school of life,
Yeah.
And then we're going to let Usen jump in before we take over, because William will take over. William,
Okay,
Usen.
from the authorities that I've spoken so far, like we have a whole lot of things to unpack, and if I'm to capture all that I've heard, because I'm actually here for the learning. I didn't come to talk. I didn't come to talk.
I was clapping it for you.
Expo.
I mean, I'm really here for the learning. So, Mr. William, they've
The William
captured,
brothers.
Williams.
yeah, the William brothers.
Williams.
They've
The Williams.
they've spoken
We're like
to
Venus and
they've
Serena.
spoken to
I mean,
the
you're
aspect
older,
of
so you be
knowing.
Venus, I'm Serena.
They've spoken to the
Spells.
aspect of knowing what gift you possess, why you possess them, and how you should consciously apply those gifts. So these are like the focal points that we should drive attention to. So in the light of purpose, what is your gift? How does it apply to your purpose? Why do you possess those gifts? What audience do you have? Who are these gifts meant for? And how are you supposed to consciously apply this gift in order to fulfill your purpose? And to summarize my own part of the talk, I would like to say that like Mr. Williams said, there is no one that is
Which of the women?
not gifted. Mr. William with blue shirt.
Oh, God.
With the blue shirt.
This
Is that no one is giftless actually, but we are all gifted in diverse ways. We only differ in to the level at which we apply, or to the level at which we are aware of what we carry. So no one out there is without gifts. Yeah, I happened at a point to face a situation where people get to ask you, so what's your purpose? And I'll be driven into this rabbit hole where I have no answers, like absolutely blank. I had no answers at all. So here I am telling everyone out there that no one is giftless. You have it right inside of you, and like Mr. William with the white shirt said, you like Mr. William with the white shirt said, you will lose out. You will miss out totally if you keep laying yourself in contrast with every other person, because the gift might be similar, but definitely you don't have to apply it the same way. There is a uniqueness attached to your own, and it is only unique to you. They said these are things that God gave them to you, and they are saved in a file that only you can open. So
Bam.
you
I
will.
like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
I felt it
You know,
too.
so this
I
is
felt
this
it.
is the thing I have about people that say I just came to learn, I didn't come to speak, I didn't come to. They're the ones that always drop like the
But you're
heaviest bombs,
mentoring
man,
us
all the
now.
way.
You're mentoring
Yeah,
us.
just hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
we're
on.
all
Hold on,
tapping
sir.
from you. The source.
Okay, so I like the way this conversation is going. You're welcome. I like the way this conversation is going. Apart from all the things that the Williams are just doing, the Williams are like my biggest headache now. Usen represents the future. I
I'm
don't know
wearing
what
white.
this-
Boring.
I'm wearing white. I'm as peaceful as can be. My shirt is white.
Okay, guys. Now there was something I said earlier, that just turned the direction and when we started with you not even recognizing what your gift is, and that's a problem in itself. And then we spoke about discovery, understanding how the relationship between your giftings and your purpose, and went to all of that. Now let me throw something else that we will discuss over the next few minutes. Now, one of the other troubles that I've come to learn in life, that comes with being gifted, is now going to the other side of the scale where you're too aware of your giftings, and you begin to become arrogant and all of that, all the attending issues with it. Because you see, anything that will affect the relationships you have to be able to execute your gifts becomes a challenge to you. If anything affects this relationship, one of the greatest resources, and if you've ever heard me speak for a while, you probably have heard me say this, that I believe that one of the greatest resources that God gives to humanity is the concept of relationship, whether it's relationship with Him or relationship with the Williams and good Usan.
Good Williams.
So, as I was saying, One of the three things that God gave to humanity is relationship. And so when your giftings and your awareness of your giftings begins to get in the way of those relationships that you have, that in itself is a major problem. What's your take on that, David?
So you talked about relationships and how relationships shape us, and I'm going to talk about two particular relationships that have shaped my entire life, my entire adult life, and my entire discovery. One would be Anik, and I know that he's going to now come and say, "Hey," I think the prime example of what speakers wanted to be in Akwa Ibom State at a certain point, at the point where I was pushing myself. Yes, that's what me and Usen have seen, and so what he did, what I discovered is there's some people that you actually have to observe. I think our greatest problem is we try to just come and then impose our gifting on people and say, help me discover it. Oh, I've discovered it. Help me make it into something. Not everyone in your relationship circle, not everyone who's above you in your area of gifting, who you have to observe from afar. You may never be able to meet Les Brown. He's in the US and you stay here in Akwa Ibom State. That's fine, but observe him, and naturally your gift would obviously get to the point where it can be shaped into something better, right? And so relationships from afar have to do with how well you observe, right? How well you observe the people who are doing exactly what you're doing, but in a different way. The second relationship I'm going to talk about specifically is Mr. Kingsley Atang, right? That's my mentor. And this is somebody who is a speaker in his own vein, but I met him around the time I was trying to discover who I was. Now, he is in no way similar to what I do, right? Now, we have a lot of similarities, but what I'm supposed to do, my purpose, my gifts are very different from his. We have some similarities, and based on that, he was able to understand that if I continue to constantly watch him from up close, I may decide to model myself around him. I made a conscious effort to model myself around him, and I was almost picking up his purpose, and I was struggling. For a long time in my life, I wanted to be this man, and I struggled. I was lost for a long time. And then he, I think, noticed it and then gave me a book and said, read it and then ask God, because he's very conscious. I'm very conscious about it. Ask God what you're supposed to do on this earth. And then when you discover it, work around it. Because the thing is, when you discover your gift, and even if you know your purpose, sometimes when you align with certain people who we term as better than us in the areas of our gifting, we may tend to become clones of these people. And at the end of the day, everything you have discovered, no matter how well you're implementing it, everything you've discovered is a waste. So, in my quest to become Kingsley Atang, I became somebody I couldn't recognize, right? And then he recognized that I was trying to become a clone and decided, hey, I'm going to push you away from all of this. Consciously, he moved. He wasn't, I couldn't physically get access to him anymore. He moved away. But even before them, he made a conscious effort of pushing me away from being a clone and trying to make me individually good, individually great. And so the point I'm trying to make by this is understand how you structure your relationships. Number one, your relationships are those people, first of all, who you watch, who have them. Do not become a clone. You pick the best parts of them and make them your best self. I'll take that again. You pick the best parts of them and then make them the best authentic you that you can. Because all you're supposed to do is pick bits and pieces from everyone who's doing exactly what you're doing. Like I said, the gift is the same, but the purpose is different. Pick the best parts of every single person who has done exactly what you're trying to do, but in a different light. Pick the best parts of them and then make them your own. Be authentic with that. Secondly, for the people who are there for physical guidance, for the people who you talk to every single day, ensure that you are not consciously becoming them, because the greatest problem with admiring someone so much is that at the end of the day, you may lose yourself in them. I am David Williams. God created David Williams for a specific reason. I may speak as well as Anye Kanusoro. Do you understand? I may speak as well as Mr. William Awana. And we may all be able to do the same thing from an outsider's perspective. But there are spaces that require Anye Kanusoro's touch.
Exactly.
There are spaces that require David Williams. There are people who need to hear William Awana's message. And so if I continue Sorrow's message, those people who require David Williams' message to be able to actualize their best self are lost. And then I failed. And God blames me for that. So understand that and don't become a clone. Thank you.
You're the man. You're the man.
Hey,
There you go. There you go.
hey,
There you go. One more time. One more time.
one more time. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. That was absolutely phenomenal for Mr. David Williams. I trained him, by the way. I think. Did I train you? Or did
I mean, somehow by
That's a lie.
association.
That's a lie.
Okay, I was just kidding. I was just
association.
kidding.
I said
I just
we-
met
we
today.
He didn't train him. He just
we
met him
pick
today.
we pick the best parts
He
of
didn't train
everyone
him.
we meet.
It's-
So I
it's-
picked the
it's
best
karma.
parts of him. You know why? Getting under an Ekanosora skin. That is a skill I picked up today.
It is no
It is
easy
necessary
feat
because I realized that the best of him comes when he's riled up.
when he's riled
William brings out the best in AU.
and possibly the worst as well. But it's fine. It's fine.
All right, so guys, we're going to close
You
the
might
show
want to-
right now. Thank you very much. We're leaving the show. Good night, everybody. Take care, and God bless you.
No, we're not. We've hijacked the show. Williams, let's take
All right.
over
All
the
right.
show. It is our connect.
All right, couple of thoughts, and I absolutely love what you close with, right? And I'd like to jump up from that. So there's this thing I learned about walking in your area of authority, right? Now, the gift, as we have all come to learn, hopefully, is that power that you have, the ability, the talent that you have to cause a change, to cause something to happen. It is a power, right? It's not going to fulfill the assignment for which you were given the gift in the first place.
Yeah.
When you don't understand the purpose of a thing, it is inevitable
Yeah.
that you would abuse it,
Yeah.
right? So, what is the purpose of your gifts? That's the first thing to note. Another thing to note is that not everybody is going to need your gift, which is a bit close to what he was alluding to, right? But I'd like to expound on that a bit further. Now, what do I mean? If you look at it with this analogy, take fruit trees, for instance. I don't know about you, but I'm a foodie and I like fruits.
Hey.
So things like apples,
Strawberries.
strawberries,
Very
right, bananas, etc., oranges.
Really?
I love all of that, but I don't love each and every one of that of them with the same degree of passion or excitement, right? So I could go with strawberries 100%, apples maybe 80%, oranges maybe like 50%, right? So I don't need all of that with the same degree, and some fruits I don't even touch, right? So not everybody is going to need your specific gift, and that is the problem with what AU was bringing to the fore about being arrogant. So you've discovered a gift about yourself. You've discovered that you can do this thing exceptionally well, and on the back of that, you're like, I'm the king of the world, baby. I got it all going on. Meanwhile, you might go to certain places and I'm like, I'm here. What's up? And people are like, excuse me, who are you? Because they don't know and they don't care that you have come. Why? Because your particular gift may not be speaking to their need, right? So if you look at it in that light, if you look at yourself as a tree that displays a particular type of fruit that some people, not all people, that some people will need and others will not, it puts you in your place. It makes you realize that you need to be humble, right? Because you have come to serve a particular set of people. Not everyone is going to need the gift that you carry. That's number one. Number two, I alluded to walking in your area of authority, and I said that the gift is the power, but the authority is what gives your gift the ability to function. Now, what do I mean? Let's look at the bird, right? What is the gift of the bird? The gift of the bird is flight. But the authority of the bird is where it is supposed to function. For instance, a bird can fly, but it cannot fly to outer space. It can only fly within the ambience of the sky. It cannot go to the moon. It can't go to the sun. So its authority is the sky. If it goes beyond the sky, it will not be able to function. A fish cannot function out of water. It can swim, but it cannot swim out of water.
Right.
The water
Yeah.
is its authority. So if you don't recognize your authority, your power will be useless. Walk in your authority. Let me close with this example. We all know Jesus, right? Jesus was the Son of God, is the Son of God, right? And he came to earth,
Amen.
and then he came to earth. Now, what was the first thing that he did before he started his ministry? Anybody remember? What was the first thing he did before he started his ministry?
The first thing.
The first thing, he got baptized. He got baptized by who? By John the Baptist. Why did he get baptized? A lot of people don't understand the significance of that action. He is God. He's God in flesh. Yet he goes to a human being to get baptized. Why? The reason is because John the Baptist was appointed as the authority to bring in the message of the kingdom of heaven. Remember that God, that John's first words were repent because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So Jesus is like, fine, this is the same message I'm going to preach. But before I preach that message, I need to subject myself to the authority that I appointed. Therefore, I go to the person who is preaching that message or who gave that message originally first. I have to subject myself under that guy's authority. And that is why he went to John. John looked at him and said, dude, what are you coming here to do? I'm supposed to be baptized by you, right? But Jesus said, no, let it be so. We must fulfill right positioning. You're the guy I appointed with the original message. Therefore, before I preach, before I start my own ministry, I must subject myself under yours, right? So, first of all, your authority is what gives your gift the ability to function. Secondly, arrogance comes from the fact that you do not recognize that your gift is not for everybody in the world, right? Realize that you have come to serve a particular set of people who need your gift. If they don't need it, they're not going to come for you. They're not going to come to you for it, right? So recognize that, recognize your authority, and you're good to go. Usen?
Okay, like it's always a very big fix whenever I have to step out here
We're
after.
not we're not falling for that scam, man. We're not
The
falling
last
for that
one you
scam.
dropped no more.
The
The
last
last
one
one
you
he
dropped was solid.
You
We're not
broke
falling for that
everyone.
scam.
It doesn't
It's
work.
not
All of us.
working.
Okay,
No,
okay,
we are
okay.
leaving the
Mr.
we're leaving it
Mr.
for
William.
If
No,
I
no, the floor is yours.
I'm
The floor is yours.
actually calling back Mr. William. 'Cause
No.
there's a question I have in mind. I
Okay.
actually don't have
Okay, you
much
can have
to
just
say here.
Alright.
So, Mr. William, you said
Yes,
something.
Mr. Rosen.
You said something about operating from your place of authority,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and we have this thing about people saying leave your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So, is can you create that dichotomy between place of authority and a comfort zone?
So your comfort of authority, right? So when you're too comfortable in a particular place. So for instance, say you have the potential to be what, like the greatest tennis player of all time,
Yeah.
right? But um, all you know how to do at this stage in your life is to play local tournaments. Your potential is to be the greatest. But at this stage in your life, remember that your gift operates in stages, right? It's just think of yourself as a butterfly. Sometimes you're going to start at the caterpillar stage, and then you go to the larva, to the pupa, and then eventually you become the butterfly. But at each stage, you have to be confined to that particular stage you're operating in. But if you stay too long in that stage, right, you won't develop and you won't grow. The butterfly becomes the butterfly because he recognizes that at the end of this stage, I have to transform to something else. But if I stay too long in this stage, right, I won't be able to become ultimately my destiny. So that is comfort zone and, having to break out of that. It is a process of growth and development. Walking in your authority means that you recognize that you have a gift, but the authority that you subject that gift under is what gives you the release to properly function. When you don't subject yourself under that authority, you abuse your gift and you abuse the people that you're supposed to be serving. I hope that clears that up.
Yeah,
Peace, y'all.
yeah, it does. It does.
Personal strength will tell you that.
I don't know what.
Mic drop.
Hey, hey.
So first of all, there are no mics, so I don't know what it means by mic.
Well,
drop
what
in
a
the
bottle
case.
drop. What a bottle drop.
So you guys understand what I go through all the time. This is what I have to deal with. And again, I covet
Man,
your
I can't wait to read
prayers,
the comments.
and all of that. And so, guys, we've done. I'm not sure. I think we've done about 45 minutes or so. We've been running. Yes, I'm looking at broadcast time, 44 minutes and a few seconds. Amazing conversation so far. Amazing conversation so far. I mean, I was just telling David and I were just sharing behind the scenes how this is one of the most super amazing episodes that we've held.
Of all time.
The connection, the banter, and all of that. Usually, I will
Just
be
you being boring.
in some city. Um,
Being boring.
okay, so there's a lot going on here, right? There's a lot going on here. I need you guys to understand this. So I'll be online. They'll be online to in their different locations. They'll be having a conversation, and we just thought that this will be the first time that we'll get to do this. And really, I mean, this has been thoroughly amazing for me, in spite of William Anwana. This has been all.
See, so it's
It
not
just
me.
it just means that
It's not me. I'm
In
such a nice
spite of
person.
William Anwana, he's just baby shark growing up. In spite of William Anwana, this has been Absolutely amazing. And seriously, guys, great stuff has been said today. Great. I'm going to be going through your comments shortly. Great stuff has been said today. Now, I was thinking of dropping another one, but no, we need to write. So I'm going to get everybody to give their closing statements. Remember, um, the gifts you have are not meant to be a burden to you. Your gifts are actually meant to be a blessing. They're meant to be a key that open up the doors of possibilities, that give you access to, maximizing the opportunities that are available to you. That's what the gifts that you have is. If you don't manage them, if you don't recognize your gifts, if you don't manage your gifts, if you don't appropriate your gifts, then you're going to run into several challenges that you will wonder whether your gift is a blessing or a curse. This is the beginning of the series. It's going to run all through the month of November, and trust me, it's going to be super, super amazing. So here's how I will do it. I'm going to bring Usen back in to give his closing remarks. And guess what? Usen is that super guy that's always commenting, always following us up. So today, for the first time, we have him live. Come here, son. We have him live here on the show. So Usen is going to give us his closing remarks, and then I'll think whether I'll let the Williams come in or whether I'll just close for the night.
We
All right?
will riot.
This is not
Just
the
letting
way
you
to
know.
go. I just want you to know that this is not the way to go. All right, so go ahead.
Okay, so the connect tribe. As my final words,
Are you going to say?
what?
We will not
Okay,
have
okay, okay.
Can you stop
Not dying,
distracting him?
not dying.
Amen.
I was asked backstage
They heard me.
if I'm planning to die. I'm not dying anytime soon. So as my final words, like talking about gifts, it should be a burden to each and every human person to know that innate ability that they have. It should be a concern to find out. Yes, I do know most persons get to find out later in life. Most persons find it out much earlier. Better to find it out earlier because it saves you a whole lot of stress and confusion. You suffer lesser frustrations also. So figure out what your gift is, figure out why you possess that gift, and figure out how you should apply that gift to your purpose and for the good of humanity. Thank you.
Amazing. 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 Do you realize that he just came and repeated everything I said? This guy is good. He just came and repeated what I said, man. Amazing. Thank you so much, Usen. It's really great having you. Not come over. It's really great having Usen. Usen is someone that I'm incredibly proud of. And I've said this in many quarters, and I'm saying this publicly. His desire to learn and his ability to also observe, the things that's learned, and to also to, internalize it and practicalize it, is simply remarkable. And I'm very proud of him. And it's a great honor to have you on the Connect and have you spend time with us. I do apologize for the Williams that have been here with you. I take responsibility for exposing you to such, to such, and
Awesome
hey,
personalities. But it's fine. It's fine.
but you realize we can close the show, right? That's just me and you. We close the
You
show.
cannot
I
close
would-
this.
I would do
There'll
that.
be a drop
It's all right.
in
It's
What
all
are
right.
you saying?
It's all right. Okay, so I'm gonna have
What the show?
David Williams, King David Williams, as he calls himself.
David,
Uh,
David,
you know,
David, David.
Hey,
it's when it's done.
I'm innocent of the charges. All right, people. So closing final statements, right? And so I'm just going to take Proverbs 18:16. The gift of man opens doors for him and puts him before great men.
He just checked the scripture on his phone.
No. I wanted to be sure where it was from. I know the scripture,
Oh, from the Bible?
but I wanted to be sure. You see, there's a lot going on
The
backstage.
scripture is from the Bible. Where else will it be from?
I needed for the people who were watching to know that it came from Proverbs. To be sure, Proverbs 18, but I wasn't really sure where it was
Well, it
from.
was 16 or
But now, the rest of them don't know. So Proverbs 18:16, the gift of a man opens doors for him and puts him before great men. And the interpretation of that scripture always comes to our benefit, right? The gift of God will open doors for you, and you always feel that the doors that are supposed to be open are just the doors of money, the doors of breakthrough, and more often than not, the gift of God will also open doors of responsibilities to you. Do not lose that fact and put you before great men. And when you say before great men, you always think of the ones who hold authority, the ones who have money. You're thinking of Aliko Dangote, of Barack Obama,
William Awana.
of William Awana in the making.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
So the thing is, you have to understand that great men are not just the men who are already made, but great men are the ones who have the potential. Life will come to you based on your potential. So the gift of God, like he said, will open doors for you and shut you before great men. Understand that one, it will open the good doors for you as well as it will open the doors to responsibility. Expect all of it. Because God never said that he will come to you and there will not be any tribulations. No. What you have to understand that the gift of responsibilities will be open, and the great men will not just be the ones that are already made to help you, are the ones that you have to make for the world to see them as great. So understand that your gift is a responsibility, and no matter how hard it comes, understand that as much as the responsibility is large, the benefits are larger. Thank you very much.
Okay, that was good. That was good, guys. Like that was absolutely good. So your gift is a responsibility, and you know, for you to be able to deploy it, you must have the ability to respond to that gift. And all of that was what he talked about. I think that was just phenomenal. And you know, this is. So I'm gonna tell you something about David. David is he's phenomenal, and you keep
Your prime
asking
mentee.
why am I talking? Come in,
Your
come in.
prime
Come.
mentee.
I want William and Wana to see what I'm going to do to the others that I won't do to him. All right, so it's okay. So David is. You guys keep asking me why I say everybody's phenomenal. Before I call someone phenomenal, trust me, they are phenomenal, and I'm extremely proud of this guy right here. He's such an icon. He's wait.
He's
I mean, he's
iconic.
like the next biggest thing. You know, outliers
Hope it's
tell
my
us.
water.
Marks and Gladwell tells us that we use about 10,000 hours to be iconic in what we do. He's almost done. He's almost done with his
He
10,000
doesn't sleep.
hours. He's almost done. This guy right here, he understands his assignment. And I'm so proud of him. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
on the
so much,
Connect.
Mr. A, for
And we'll have
having
you
me.
over and over and over
Always,
again.
I'm always here.
Awesome.
And next time we'll have me and Mr. William Awana
Bye.
as always.
Running the
Bye.
show.
Bye. Bye. All right, guys. So this is where we call it the night.
Hello,
And
hello. We will riot. No, no, he didn't do. You have to do it properly. You have to do it properly.
Nzabu Eimba.
Okay, guys. So, all right. So before we call it a night, just because I've been forced to, I've been getting, my phone is beeping. It's got a toy gun, it's pointing in my direction, and a catapult with few pebbles.
And this phone.
No, not that phone. Not that phone. This has got stuff that's pointing my way. Um, Let me hear closing shots. Closing shots from the great William Awana. I said it
Of
right.
all time.
It's not of all time. It's just the great William Awana. That's all. You don't have to say it.
Okay, I'm sorry. The great William Owana. Can I talk now? Of all time. Okay.
Of all time.
Okay, folks, I had a phenomenal time on this show. It was so great talking with the other guys here. We had a blast, right? You should have seen all the things, all the antics that were going on back. Right? Now, I said that we're about 8 billion people on this planet. Now, do you realize that all of us are seeking something? We're all seeking to become, whether we realize it or not, because there's a need beating within each of our hearts that seeks to express ourselves. Whether that need has been subjugated by life or by your environment, it doesn't negate the fact that the need is there, right? So all of us have a sense of purpose. All of us have a sense of value. We want to feel valued, we want to feel important, we want to feel that we matter, we want to feel successful, we want to have a sense of personal power, we want to feel that we're put on this earth to do something important. But most of us don't achieve it, but I think the conversation that we've had here today would begin to open your minds to realizing the truth that your gift is the source of your value. You are meant to be valuable to this world. You are meant to do something that people don't forget. You are meant to make an impact. You're meant to leave your footprint, like they say in the sands of time. But if you don't identify your gift, if you don't harness it, if you don't develop it, if you don't refine it, you're not going to get there. So please, please, if there's anything else that you don't take away from the show, or that you do take away from the show, I beg your pardon, is the fact that you must find your gift and develop it. Find your gift, serve your gift. Peace out.
Amazing. Amazing. Find your gift. Find your gift. Serve your gift. Find your gift And in between finding and serving, there's a whole lot. There's developing it, there's harnessing it, there's fine tuning it, there's packaging it, there's branding it, there's communicating it. And when you've done
There's
all of
washing it
that,
down with
you
the water.
serve it to the world. And that's just phenomenal. So I want to say a massive thank you to William. William,
Yeah.
no, William,
Oh,
William
me, oh, me,
Yeah.
Anwana.
William. Oh,
So,
William
you,
Anwana.
the way you were just waving all of us in.
No, no,
Sorry,
not
man.
all
Sorry,
of,
sir.
not
We'll
all
take
of.
the group chat later.
Yeah, of course.
All right, good.
You're the star of the show.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
All right,
I
all
just
right,
wanna be
guys.
close to you, bro.
Yeah, it's all right. Okay, so guys, William, it's always great to have William. William has been on the show number of times, always delivering value.
You just can't do without me.
It's,
It's fine. It's fine. I understand.
Your
Please go ahead.
soulmate.
it's okay. So I'm really glad to really glad to have William here. Yes, yeah, he's a great guy. He's a super great guy, and I just want you to just love on him and all of that. I need you to follow all these guys, see what they're doing on the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. I believe William Awana everywhere. He's William Awana everywhere. King David
Prince
William
David
Prince
Williams
David.
Facebook.
He's not even a
But
king,
I've been
he's a
given
prince.
the moniker Big Talker on other platforms. So I go by Big Talker.
Big talker.
Instagram, TikTok.
That doesn't have
Twitter.
anything to do with the size of your.
No, it has
No,
nothing to do with
it
the size
has
of his,
everything
of
to
his
do
belly.
with the size
And
of
then Usen, you're
Usain James.
Usen James, Usen
the size of my
James,
value.
and everywhere. Okay, so yeah, thanks. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Well, me too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So follow William, follow William and stuff. He's got great value, great stuff that he's doing, and you want to be a part of it. You want to learn from it, and we're gonna have each of them back on the show over and over again. We'll be coming back to close this series as well, and then you also have their inputs week in week out.
Are we gonna do it here, or maybe somewhere else? I'm just asking because the ambience.
Maybe we'll do it at the joint.
It was.
For the joint.
All right, guys, I have had
Joint
a
series.
super amazing episode. So it's that time where I'm going to go through your comments right now and then, just skim through a few of them. Not all of them, but quite a lot. I'm going to go through a
I
few
can
of them and
imagine
just,
how many there are.
pick stuff, and pick stuff. So I'm going to be jumping to the comments here. Most of them are quotes of the things that you grabbed. And that for me means a lot. Every time you get something, you're able to communicate it back. And that's a way of retention for you. All right. So we're going to be going through this very quickly as I need to close the show possibly in the next 2 minutes. Okay. So let me just take them randomly. Okay, so this is a quote from William Awana. If you don't work in your area of authority, you'll be powerless. That's how Fun understood it, and that's really absolutely nice. I'm gonna go way back again. Okay, so
What's it, huh?
Irene says, "I'm learning a lot, but I'm also having a good laugh."
Which was the point?
We did that. We did that.
Go, Irene.
They did that.
We brought
They did that.
spice.
They did that. They brought spice. Yeah. Sheba. Sheba says, "I like William." Sheba, we're done.
You're here.
We're done.
William
I like you
Awana,
too,
right?
Sheba.
Represents
Hi,
William.
Sheba. Hi,
Yeah, we're
Sheba.
done with Sheba because Sheba, you have to like the William brothers.
They're not brothers. They don't even know themselves.
Venus
Well,
and
we are
Serena.
now.
I'm
We are
loving the
now.
album
Yeah,
situation.
he's-
Thank you so much, Sheba.
he's-
Yes. We
something.
thought to do something different today. It's,
Peace,
it's,
Sheba.
it's simply amazing. It's simply amazing. I can't imagine.
Stomach twin.
I can't imagine being in the same confined spaces with these guys.
Yeah, but
It's
you
gonna be
are.
crazy.
But you love it though.
It's just
Asking.
You can say it. You love
okay. So I'm taking more comments. Fun says comfort zone versus working in your area of authority. Okay, there's a lot there. Great. Somebody's trying to quote the Bible passage right for William. He literally just
No,
checked it on his
no,
phone as I called him
no.
up. He was just checking. Where is this thing? He googled it. It didn't work. He called a friend.
Defend
He
yourself,
called
brother.
a friend.
I'm
He
not
called
gonna
a
let that
friend
go
in
down.
church, and the friend said Proverbs 18:16, and then he was like, "Okay, what does he even say?" He didn't even know what translation.
You will not slander the call
He
of
didn't
God
know what
upon,
translation.
upon my life.
It was the new.
It was KJV.
It was the new Uyo Living Translation.
It was the Connect translation.
It was the new York translation. Okay, so one more comment. Understand how you structure your relationships. Pick the best part of every single person that you meet, that you come across, and make them your own. Don't be a clone. That's from Will. That's from David. Don't be a clone. Yeah, nice. That's also nice. Okay, so we have something here from Tammy Kingsley Atang. It says M and E Master talking about relationship. Amazing. All right. So these things will happen on the connect. Okay. Monitoring and evaluation. All right. So uh okay, so this will be the final one I take for tonight. Find your gifts, find your authenticity. Find your gift, find your authenticity. And I think that's just so amazing. So, guys, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that joined us today. All those that connected on Facebook, all those that connected on LinkedIn. I was also checking LinkedIn. I saw a few of you on LinkedIn, and all of those that watched the streaming on YouTube. We started streaming on YouTube 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, and it's just been
Oh, that was
amazing.
me.
So please and please and please, thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming. These guys have no understanding that the mic is picking everything that they say.
We don't
Just
care.
bear with me
The
today.
show has
Eh?
closed.
Bear with me
The grace of our
today.
Lord Jesus
All right,
Christ.
so guys,
That's it.
love you much. Catch you next Sunday, and until then, let's keep on
Will
connected.
you say the
It's
grace?
been a great.
That's your turn.
Are we saying the
Now
grace?
day.
It's been a great
Oh,
episode. I thoroughly had fun, and I'm loving it right here in the city of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Uyo to the world. It's the connect. Much love. Good night, everyone. All right, you guys can come say, come wave good night now. Come wave good night. Y'all can come. All right. Okay,
Thanks a
so
lot, AU.
just wave. Good night, everyone.
Good night from the new
Peace.
owners of this show, the Williams
There are
brothers.
no
See
new
you next
owners.
week without AU.
Yeah, we own the show now.
What do you mean? See you next week with?
See you next
We're
Friday.
out. The curtain dropped on AU's head, quite literally.
What do you mean?
And so
See?
we took over the show.
Wait. What do you mean? See you next week without AU? You
Meaning
can't.
that it
Me,
is
you're
going to
gonna
be
be
called
here,
the
bro.
Williams Connect next week.
You guys
The
were
joint.
done. It's not the joint.